Hey, I'm Kyle, and we're about to go camping. Let me show you how to car camp in the Tesla Model Y. So I've seen a ton of YouTube reviews where it's their first night in a Tesla, let alone their first night car camping. I've got a little bit more experience, so let me show you what I do. For starters, I like to set up before I even leave. So tonight's the night before. I'm going to leave in the morning, and what you'll see here is I've already put the bed in the car. So I've got everything except my clothes and food in here. And all I've got to do is chuck that in the morning and I'm right on the road. Now, the advantage of setting up is it's super easy when you get there. There's a lot of dudes that'll spend an hour or more setting up at camp, hooking everything up, taking everything out, whatever. The worst thing I have is if I put luggage here, those go in the front seats and I've got to put up the blinds and I'm all set. The blinds do only take a couple minutes, but when I show up, I can truly enjoy myself. I can grab a beer, I can hang out, I can be conversational, and I'm not spending a ton of time setting up my gear once I get there. The other thing to keep in mind is in the real world, you really don't want your doors and hatches open for very long. There's things like mosquitoes, there's hot weather, there's super cold weather. If you ever go car camping in the winter, you won't keep those windows or doors open for very long at all. So this allows you to be kind of set up, have all your stuff ready to go. Super easy in, out, and like I said, I really, really recommend setting up before you go out. It'll pay dividends. Hey, it's the next morning and it's now time to load the car. I'm going to start by loading my refrigerator. I really kind of like these chest style refrigerators because not only does it fit well in the sub trunk, but it's super easy to grab the handles, take it inside, whether I'm loading it beforehand or whether I've got an Airbnb or if I'm staying at a friend's place. I can bring my own little refrigerator and food. So let's start. Um, this guy, I've already got my plug plugged into the 12-volt outlet. So all I need to do is plug this guy in. It's plugged in the back corner here. The one thing to remember with that is you'll want to turn on Sentry mode. If you don't, this plug has a tendency to turn off after, say, half an hour or so. So we're going to turn on Sentry mode, and then I'm going to go grab my bags. Okay, I've grabbed my bags and now we're about ready to go. So let me talk about my standard pack setup. I feel like I can travel just about anywhere with these two bags, a backpack and a duffel. I tend to put clothes in the duffel and toiletries and maybe pajamas in my backpack. I will put the duffel behind the driver's seat on the floor in the back. And I do tend to leave the backpack up here along with any extra luggage. You may see this guy, it's empty, but I'm going to bring it along on this trip just to show how easy it is to move the luggage around so you can enjoy your time in back. Last thing here, I've got a pair of slides in the corner. I kind of feel like, you got shoes for two in something like this. Makes it easy as you're getting in and out. You can throw your shoes in here, even if they're dirty. I do have the rubber liners, so they hold up pretty well. I do recommend a jacket, especially a windbreaker. If you spend much time out in nature and there's a little bit of wind, it can take the chill out of you. So with that, I'm going to throw all this in the car and we're going to get on the road. Now that I'm all loaded up, the last thing I need to do is put in my destination. So I've already put in the Headlands waterfront here. That's a dark sky park up in Mackinac City. So we've got about a 4.5 hour drive today, and there are two charging stops, one in Bay City and one in Gaylord. When you put in the destination, the car automatically chooses the most ideal charging locations along the route to save you time. You don't have to know where any of them are. So let's get on the road and enjoy some of the scenery. So we talked about FSD on the highway, but FSD already works on back roads as well. So I'm just going to click right here And the car is going to check, see if anyone's coming, and then we're going to go. Now here in Michigan, we have some really weird roads. We're about to enter a figure 8 double roundabout on this side of the highway. So this confuses a lot of people from out of town. Again, I'm not touching any controls, no pedals, no steering. We are just navigating. The car is doing everything on its own. This has been troublesome for the car in the past, but it's doing pretty good right now. This level, we get new software releases usually every few weeks. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes you get a whole bunch of them super quick. It's been aggressive, it's been super shy. This version seems really good in the roundabouts. So third roundabout here, and now we're going to merge onto the highway. Again, I haven't touched anything at all, and you can see on the map what's going on. We do have a semi in front of us here going pretty slow. So we're going to merge into traffic behind the semi. Let's see how the car does. We do have an open lane. All right, very good. Very natural, no jerkiness. There's a bunch of traffic ahead. The car again is very polite, letting people go by. Now it is going into the fast lane. Again, we've got a pretty slow truck here. Speed limit is 70 and it is chosen 77, which is quite reasonable. We must be, I think we were in average. So we're going to drive on average today so that we're not cruising too fast. I see everyone trying to cook out of the back of their Tesla. So let me show you my version of a camp kitchen. And back on the road. Wasn't that quick? We are back on the highway, and we are about to go through Flint, Michigan, home of my undergrad, TMI. Quite the experience here. Anyways, the car is in full self-drive, and I am going to do a test driving through downtown Flint and see if it'll let me eat while it is driving. I used to enjoy my cheat day is actually getting a sundae from Culver's. And it was amazing to go through drive-through and be able to eat a scoop of ice cream on the way home while the car was driving. This system is a little bit pickier, so let's dive in. And I hate to make you watch me eat, but let's give this thing a test and see how this does. I'm going to try to look forward while eating and see if that makes it happen. I'm going to have to speed this up or something. Seems happy. That's pretty cool. Man, this is gonna make me fat. uh. Yum, yum, yum. Well, I'd say that was pretty successful. Sorry to make you watch me eat, but that was a fun test. I'm gonna have to use that feature more often in the future. Oh yeah, that wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. I didn't make too much of a mess. No, that's good too. All right, let's plug in. Again, all we got to do is grab this thing, hit the button, plug her in. When we get back inside here, it is starting to charge, and it will tell us shortly how much time we're going to be here. Now, whenever I stop here at this location, I know these are not the most powerful chargers. I think these are only 150 kilowatts. It's great to have them, but we are at a Meijer. So if I can pan around and look at the store, the trouble here is the restroom is basically on the other side of the store. I don't know if everyone's like me, but for some reason my bladder seems to have shrunk since I bought a Tesla. And every time I stop somewhere, I feel like I really have to go to the bathroom. So a really long walk can kind of be a torture if you follow habits similar to myself. But they do have restrooms. They do have a grocery store in there. Not sure if everyone's familiar with Meijer. That's probably more of a Michigan thing. And then there is some fast food around here, including a Culver's. Yay. I've already eaten. Unfortunately, you watch me eat, so I would either be raiding the fridge, usually at a stop like this, because it is pretty long, or maybe grab lunch and sit here and eat. But it was kind of a pleasure to be able to eat while being driven down the road earlier. So I may have to consider doing that more often. All right. Well, we have 30 minutes left, so I am going to run to the restroom, and we'll check in a little bit. So I am getting close to Mackinac City. We're about 35 miles away from Mackinac. And I'm going to make a couple of detours and hopefully check out a few areas before sunset. We're going to ultimately stop at the Headlands Dark Sky Park, hopefully to enjoy sunset and maybe even come back and catch some stars later. I hope you stick around and enjoy some of the views. All right, we are at the Headlands International Dark Sky Park right outside of Mackinac City. So we're currently in the parking lot. We're going to walk towards the facility here. It's near sunset. And what you see as we walk here is these posts have red lights. So this is a protected area for stray light. So when you look at the stars here, they say it's like looking at the stars 100 years ago. There's literally more stars than you can imagine. And the benefit for me today is that I get to watch sunset come in over the water. Virtually nobody here right now. Weather forecast is good for tonight. So if it holds up, I might come back and see if I can check out some stars here. If you look off to the right here in these grassy areas, you're pretty comfortable setting up a chair for stargazing. That's pretty much where everyone goes. They set out their own chair and often have binoculars. Talk about more satellites than stars from what I see. This area is kind of special. As we approach this, there's kind of an amphitheater and some seating area that makes it real nice to watch sunset. Isn't this gorgeous? Inside of the event center there are restrooms. It is heated, so if you happen to come here in the winter or later in the fall when it's really cold, you can warm up. And I'm not so sure there's food in there, but having a restroom and a little bit of warmth is great when you're out here. So check out this view. Isn't this just spectacular? Built-in seating. Matter of fact, I might I may take advantage of this. Got my water. I might set up a camera, do a time lapse. What a beautiful view. Sunset within half an hour. Okay, so I am charging up at the end of the night in Mackinac City here. The interesting thing is the docks from Mackinac Island are literally right there. And there's a brew pub right over there. I watched the sunset at the Dark Sky Park and got a little bit chilly with the wind coming off the water. Nice sunset, maybe not as most color as I've ever seen, but quite a nice sunset nonetheless. But I am going to charge up to about 80%. You don't need a crazy amount of charge to camp for 1 or 2 nights. It's about 1.5% of battery power per hour that you're going to run camp mode. It's quite efficient. I wouldn't worry at all about turning on camp mode and using the climate control. Use it at will. It's really cheap, easy energy. Another nice thing about charging up at the end of the night before you camp is, especially in the winter, you precondition the batteries, you warm them before you charge. So at the end of the night, when you're about to park and car camp, that whole battery pack's going to be nice and warm, and the climate control can actually pull heat from that. So it's incredibly efficient, and you'll be surprised how comfortable you are in the back of one of these things. Okay, I am all set up in camp mode. I've got the window blinds in place. I am on top of the bed right now. I'm going to throw on some pajamas and get comfortable. Now, the standard configuration when I'm inside here is I push both front seats as far forward as possible. That gives me a ton of access to whatever I have stored below the headboard in these things. So usually clothes, snacks, all kinds of stuff. So tons of room. I'm not so sure a ton shows up with this camera, but I am bunked down for the evening, and I'm gonna check in the morning. Good morning. It's about 7:30, and sun is starting to come up. You can see camp mode still doing its thing in the background there. But it's been a real restful night. You can see the windows are still all blacked out, real nice and dark. And it's a gentle wake up when the sun starts to come up. You can see we've had a little bit of rain, and but let's get out and see what it's like outside. All right, so let's get out and take a walk around so you can see my little camping space. So, I am up by the Mackinac Bridge. See it right over there? Great view from right here. But let's walk around and check out the car. I don't normally leave the hatch open very much, but might as well hop out, check it out, and hop back in. The car, as you can see, is tinted out. That's probably as stealth as it gets. It looks like limo tint. Can't really see through it, in my opinion. But it is, it looks like the car is just parked and sitting there, and you're chilling inside nice and quiet. The coverall is great. When you're done in the morning, you just kind of throw it over everything. You don't really have to make the bed. So that's nice. And while I do like the colors, the one in black just kind of blends in. So if you're trying to be full on stealth, I might really recommend a black coverall, because you can't really tell where it begins or it ends. Well, it is morning and I am a bit of a coffee addict. So, what video would be complete without showing you a camp coffee setup? So, I've got two major regimes for coffee. This one is interesting. This is a rechargeable espresso maker. So the lid on the top is actually the cup, and you can put in little pods here, and it is USB-C rechargeable. You pour a little bit of water in the top end here, and it does take a little bit to warm up, but it'll heat the water and push it through, and you can get yourself a double shot of espresso. On top of that, I have coffee creamer in the refrigerator. I've got heavy cream and I've got my Italian sweet cream. So I can either add that to this, or if I'm somewhere where there's a Starbucks or another coffee shop, I can literally just get a large coffee and add the creamer the way I like it. So for me, that's the most important thing. For breakfast, I do also have, I've got egg bites, I've got hard-boiled eggs, I've got some chicken bites, some other little things, some cheese in the refrigerator. Easy to just grab a couple things, or again, since I'm on the road, every now and then you see a real nice diner, and it's super easy to just pull in and have your pick of what's available there locally. So that is my morning routine. If you are a caffeine fan like I am, hopefully this might give you some interesting new options. So I'm at Wilderness State Park in the 500 block, which is RVs and campers. And I've got Pearl parked in slip 548 here. And we are actually going to torture test Actually Smart Summon right now by having Pearl drive from the parking spot to the campground restrooms, which are maybe 150 yards away. So let's do this together, and I'm going to hope that I can get some of this, the controls from this on the phone on this video. I'm going to hop in. So I'm going to ride in the back, and we are going to summon and going to set a target. So this system's pretty interesting. It shows the cameras around the vehicle. I am in a parking space, so this is going to have to pull out and make a left and go down the road. So let's see. Oh, all right, we're moving. If you can see the car, wow. So it's showing an image. Wow, we are just rolling. Whoop. All right, so still going down the road. A little jerky. I'm not sure what it's looking at. But we're moving. Seems to be it's going like 10 feet, slowing down, stopping. All right, now we're rolling, and we are real close to the restrooms. So the restrooms are just to the left of the vehicle. We are approaching a pin and stopping. Four-way flashers and park. So let's get out and see where we are. Well, would you look at that? So not perfectly smooth, but those are the restrooms, and our slip was maybe 150 yards that way. I'd say that was reasonably successful. Actually, Smart Summon works in a campground setting. Go figure. All right, this is part two of I don't cook in my car. Um, when I've had a really nice day, like I just did, I just finished the Tunnel of Trees tour. It was gorgeous. There's no better way to treat myself than to stop by Culver's. So here we are. Check this out. Oh yeah.